Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 4, entitled The Yoga of Wisdom, and presently in the verse number 31. The topic is very practical topic and it's the essential teaching of the Gita, that everyone must first understand how fortunate you are to be as a human being. If you have difficulty, compare yourself with birds and animals. Having entered human embodiment, you must pursue the purpose of life. And the purpose is dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, ethical value, must be the foundation. Never start a whole project on the basis of falsehood or unethical value. Be good. That's your foundation, that's your chair. Sit on it. Then use your hands, etc., to do good. It's called dharma. Then have all material resources needed, and God will provide you. There is no end to it, material resources. Again, resources cannot be just material. You need your body, you need your mind, you need your inspiration, you need your tongue, you need your language. All these are materials. Kama, the word is kama, desire in human mind, works profoundly in all things that happen. From morning till evening, what makes you so spurred up? The desire. And to see the desire fulfilled, or see the certain desire dumped, one way or the other. Desire is your fire. An ultimate goal, no desires, just absolute. You are the sun. You started as a reflected sun, matching up with the sun. And finally, you matched up with somebody. This is not a match. Reflected sun is not a reality. When you match up with the sun, there is no reflection. You continue reflecting until you become one with God. Now in this project, first important point is called Swadharma. How do you view your life involved in various activities? All this I have discussed before, so I'm now putting very briefly. Do not get into a job because you are tempted by a lot of money. Go to a job that will make you feel more relaxed, more fulfilled. If you are a teacher and your job allows you to develop that teaching art more and more, so that type of, if you are a musician, you teach music, but you are also tasting the music, you see. You go on enjoying it. That type of activity that has relation with your internal enrichment, that's called Swadharma. That again is, if your proper attitude has been developed in a profound way, God will provide you all needed ingredients, all needed materials for you to be drawn to Swadharma. Next point, having come to that stage, while you are doing your duties, living your life, in order to attain enlightenment, bring the spirit of Yagya in whatever work you perform, the spirit of Yagya in your daily life. This Yagya is also termed in Gita's language Vikarma. Your karma has been settled, add Vikarma to it. Vikarma is a special spicing, a special attitude, a special spiritual vision behind it. And that Vikarma, another synonym for it is Yagya. Live your life, perform your duties, blended with Yagya, blended with the spirit. Literal meaning of Yagya is sacrifice. Blended with that spirit of sacrifice that goes on sublimating the lower nature, anger, greed, etc. are short-circuited energy. Yagya movement goes on sublimating them, correcting them. Without going into further detail, let me give you all the names of the Yagyas that have been touched upon, and there will be more explained later. The highest Yagya is Nirguna Bhakti, devotion that has allowed your mind to understand God is the absolute reality, beyond names and forms. Brahmarpanam Brahmavi, Brahman is the absolute. But that Vikarma is at the climax. Next stage, Saguna Bhakti, devotion focusing the mind on God, God who is Sagun Sakar, God viewed as Krishna, Rama, Jesus, Buddha, with a form and name. That's always an allegorical. But that's according to your culture, according to the way you have been brought up. Choose any symbol based on your religion and your choice. Not only form, but attributes of the form. So when you meditate on God as Rama or as Krishna, not only you see the form but understand that God represents absolute love, that God represents all that is good in this world, all the best things you can think of: immortality, eternity, absolute joy, perfect fulfillment, forgiveness of all sins, washing away all calamities, motherly love, absolute love. The Sahasrara, 1,000 names. The scriptures have made it, facilitated it by presenting 1,000 names. So many ways you try to meditate upon. Then come to another level, Saguna Nirakar. You don't have to have the form always before you. When you become deeply involved, the qualities, you enjoy a mother's warm love. But in the beginning, you look at the face. But at an advanced stage, it's the love that you are enjoying, not the face. So that comes Saguna Nirakar. All this practice is Yagya, very advanced. Any project of controlling your senses controlled by your mind, and mind controlled by your intellect. Think of a chariot simile. Your personality is like a chariot. Senses are horses. And if your mind pulls those horses, the reins. Your intellect is a driver. And who is being driven? Your soul. And intellect has its connection with divine intellect, God. So therefore in Gita, Arjuna is being driven in the chariot, and who drives? Krishna. Pure intellect, being driven by pure intellect, is being driven by God Himself. So therefore now, try to figure it out. If senses rule a person, it's just like a chariot. The driver of the chariot has become drunk driving. And the reins they pull have become weak. Now you are being horsed around. With lot of sound. So that should not happen. Putting the whole chariot in a correct status. Any effort you do to correct it is called Yagya. So, Indriya Nigraha, controlling the senses. Indriya Sanyam. Sometimes those wild horses have become wild. If the senses have become too out of control, you need some serious measure. But if they are not out of control, but within your normal limits, then you have to pet them and teach them how to be in moderation. Sanjam. You like something, don't go too much into it. Don't go into too extreme. Be in moderation. Do not tune your veena too tight, nor keep it loose. Attunement, that's the subtle point behind sanjama. Proper attunement. That also is called Davi movement. Davi movement is sur. You are in sur. And if the attunement is not correct, it is discordant, the strings are loose and some are broken, then it is asuri movement. You are not in sur, you are not in harmony. Disharmonious movement. And I'm just describing you all those yagyas. Yagyas means all the points that are needed to lead you into a profound sadhana movement. All this is called sadhana, spiritual disciplines. Next point of yagya is Shravana Manan Nididhyasan. Listen, reflect, lead your mind into profound meditation. Here in Patanjali Raja Yoga Sutras, you are given early stages, kindergarten discipline. Choose an object and meditate upon. In Vedanta, it is advanced. You don't have to choose, just find what is the truth. And let the mind flow towards it. That's called nididhyasana. All that is yagya. Another yagya, dan, charity. Do good. Do good in all extended form. Can do materially helping people. That's what the material aspect of charity. Charity where you allow people to live with joyousness, good-hearted act. So charity can be through in your thought, word and action. And all the resources that allow you to do the charity, called sampatti, that's your wealth. And good quality wealth is Davi Sampat, divine qualities. And if you share those qualities with others, make them blossom, that's the best way. That's yagya. And tapas, austerity. Austerity is the term that is allowing you to practice discipline, exercises to strengthen your body, strengthen your mind, strengthen your intellect. Even normal way, to understand in a very simple way. If you want to make yourself live a joyous life, then bring some little exercises, some little yoga, some pranayama within daily life. Tapas, austerity is in 3 levels. In mental level, your understanding. In your words, in your body. Disciplining the body, disciplining your speech, disciplining your thoughts, all become involved if you are moving on the spiritual path. If you are really progressing, then all become involved. Next type of austerity, next type of yagya is just to maintain serenity of your mind. And letting the mind stay untainted, nirmal, pure. And that, if that is your focus, you are doing yagya. Next type of yagya is pranayama. Last time we have discussed it, the role of pranayama. Next, role of discipline such as fasting and performing expiation or prayashchit. You did something wrong. The greatest form of a prayashchit is understand that we shouldn't do it again. That's prayashchit. But when you come to realize that is not so easy, then you create a project that if you are doing mala japa for half an hour, now you will be doing it for 1 full hour. To help your mind develop a strength. I'm giving you simple illustrations. There are many, many ways of doing expiatory actions, fasting on Ekadashi, adopting certain duration of fast, adopting certain duration of mauna, staying silence. And some people adopt some serious measure. So all these that I have described, they are all called yagya. Swadhyaya, study of scriptures, that's also yagya. Satsanga. Now, 31st verse. Yagya shishtamrita bhujo yanti brahma sanatanam nayam lokosti ayagyasya kutonya kurusattama. Only those who eat the nectarine remnant of sacrifice go to eternal Brahman. Even this world cannot be secured by one who does not sacrifice. So how should one who does not sacrifice hope for the world of Brahman? O best of the Kurus. O Arjuna, Krishna is talking to Arjuna. Everything in this world, every day, sacrifice is needed. On your bed, you are so comfortable. But you have to stretch your arms, stretch your legs, prepare to get down. You have to do some sacrifice. So make the day a better day for you. You are a student, now plan out how to match up your study with what goes on in your school or college. Don't stay behind. So discipline is needed. For even if you are a greedy person and waiting for some big money to grab, you have to wait with patience. Sacrifice can be positive, negative, all types. But here we are encouraging you is for positive yagya, not the rajasic tamasic. Yagya-based life daily, as you are do some japa, meditation, prayer, and you plan out integral yoga in daily life according to your possibility and in a very nice way, rhythmic way. So it shouldn't make you feel that you are doing something so unique. If you focus on that, then it limits the time. You can't do that much for a long time. So you are always counting, how long should I do this? It shouldn't be. The spiritual movement should enter your personality in such a way that your life becomes more delicious. So you have nothing to complain. Someone tells you that they have secured your intake of food for your whole life. You will get exactly what you need according to your fancy, day by day. And better and better. You will not say, oh, how long you have to go on doing that? How long I have to go on eating? You never will even think about it, to contradict it or to go against it. If you have understood that, then any idea that comes to your mind, how long will I have to do sadhana? That is stupidity. What you are doing is enriching yourself. You are leading yourself. A reflected sun is going to be the real sun. Every step that allows you to discover your higher nature is more enjoyable than digging into a treasure. So therefore, sadhana should become a source of joy. All that I'm saying quickly, but that has to be kept in mind. Practical life may give you complete despair, but that again is God's plan. The despair stage is a challenge that allows you to become aware of what are the muscles you are not using. So, sacrifice. Without sacrifice, no progress, nowhere. But now coming to the profound sacrifice, which I have already talked about. All the yagyas, if you are performing in daily life, then you are living your life as a prasad. That's called remnant of sacrifice. You take it literally, that will wait for the whole sacrifice. And then see what has been offered into sacrifice and how much share can you get. Sometimes you can get only 1 tablespoon as a remnant. Coming to a more crude level, conjures up the idea sacrifice as an animal. But no problem if you are non-vegetarian. And When will you get a portion of that? But move away from that, all those. Here, the remnant of sacrifice, if you have added yagya in your daily life, now what's happening? Manah prasadam. Prasad is mind's inner serenity and the joy. That's the prasad term relates to that. And for the allegorical way, when puja is done and in the end, whatever is offered is called prasad. But that's the physical way of showing that all the time you are sitting there, here is the reward for it, prasad. Profounder way, sadhana you are doing, and what are you getting out of it? You are daily living your life with positive thinking, guided by spiritual inspiration, doing your yagyas that I have touched upon. Your daily life becomes purposeful, joyous. Even though you may face challenges, you will know your challenges are not going to dump you. You are going to emerge out of it brighter than before. You are now being backed up by faith, strength of faith, the strength of understanding. And nothing is greater strength than that. So therefore, life becomes now a kind of adventure. We are going to climb the Mount Everest. I'm not talking literally, because there's a lot of trouble is up there. So only those who eat the nectar in remnant. Nectar in remnant means mind is becoming free from impurities. And now therefore, your soul is enjoying, discovering its own glory. So it is a joyous movement. But all this joyous movement sometimes don't appear like a joyous experience. That also has to be understood. So there is a role of endurance and patience, but not with despair, with a perfect inner faith and confidence. The remnant of Yagya. The Sanskrit word is Yagya Shishta Amrit. Yagya Shishta. Shishta term का विषय. I'll give you a profounder meaning behind it. Sha plus Isht. Sha refers to Kalyan. Sha is boundless glory, boundless good. Isht. Promoting 8 intrinsic qualities of the soul called Atma Gunas. It is natural in every soul to flow through these 8 points. And if you allow the soul to be more natural, more spiritual, your movement becomes shist. And if you don't get those 8 qualities correctly, then it is clished. And you insist on doing negative, you are dusht. What are those 8? Just let me give you the points. Daya, compassion, It's natural. Even animals have their shanti, forgiveness. If you love someone deeply, then you don't go after the little mistakes. Anasuya, absence of jealousy. Shauch, purity, purity of body and mind. Anayas, effortless. When you become qualitative and really enriched in a spiritual way, great things are done by you in a very simple way. But that not only on the spiritual path, in any type of job you have, say for example you are a very good doctor and you love your work, you come to a state of recognizing, of diagnosing the disease just by looking the face. And it becomes spontaneous. Biggest of problems you handle in a spontaneous way. That quality is there in every soul. Anasuya. Anayas. Next is Mangalam. You are always moving towards something auspicious, not suspicious, auspicious. The tree is growing with the auspicious expectation of flowers coming up. More and more beautiful flowers. That's Mangalam. Akarpanya, absence of miserliness. You always realize, even birds, if they have a lot of energy, etc., they want others around to look at them, see them. they want to share it. They're very happy, they shout, they sing. It's natural. When you practice virtuous qualities, nothing new is being given to you. It's already in your soul. And lastly, spriha. Spriha is craving. You enjoy profound satisfaction. Nothing of the world can add to what you are. Nothing of the world, all the illuminations can add to the sun. Sun is already full. So that type of state has to be. All these are instinct within the heart. Now spiritual movement puts these instincts to flow to a perfection. Therefore that movement is called Shift. And Yagya makes you shift. Then what happens? What's the gain? Amrit bhujo. You enjoy nectar. Again, literally means you get a cup of mystic drink and you enjoy it. But real meaning is you enjoy immortality. Day by day, hour after hour, you are under the grip of mortality, fear, grief, worries, anxieties, time is passing, opportunity is slipping, the body is aging. You are not enjoying. You are singing the song of mortality. But who deeply connected with the spiritual movement, truly religious, truly a yogi, then you are now singing the song of immortality. You are enjoying the revelation that nothing in the world can touch you. You are like the sky. All the clouds with all their hurricane and storm and thunder makes no scratch in the sky. Next time you walk out and look at the sky. There's no scratch. So how wonderful it would be. Live your life without losing the awareness that full. Now the world becomes a sport. The world moves like a cloud, like clouds. You are the sky. So keep your eyes blue. एवं बहुविध विधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्म ब्रह्मणो मुखे कर्मजान विद्धितान सर्वान एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे. Thus from the mouth of Brahman many such exercises have proceeded. Many such sacrifices, yagyas. And what is the mouth of Brahman? The Vedas, the scriptures, the revelations given by sages and saints. All religions, wherever sages and saints have brought their revelation, that's the way Brahman uses the mouths of sages and others called Brahman's mouth. Brahmavani. Know them all to be born of karma. Here karma refers to your self-effort. All these teachings, all these yagyas, they are not matter of just listening or reading. You have to do it. If you don't do it, theory remains just a theory and it has no benefit for you. But when you start doing it, you gain tremendous. So it's a saying, 1 ounce of practice is better than tons of theory. So therefore yagya requires self-effort. That self-effort, there is room for self-effort in every personality. That's called free will. But as you do yagya, that free will increases. But you live your life without the spirit of yagya, without this, all this that I have been talking about. Then you dump yourself to a world where there is absolutely no possibility for you to do any change. You find yourself completely devoid of willpower and find yourself completely dependent upon the world. And this should not be the picture of surrender to God. You have surrendered to your stupidity. Start doing effort. Add any one of these yagyas I have been talking about, even just pranayama. Start doing something. And then your willpower begin to increase. And ultimately all this becomes amrita, nectar. Shreyan dravyamaya yagyat jnana yagya parantapa sarvam karma khilam partha jnane parisamapyate. 33rd verse. The sacrifice of knowledge, O scorcher of foes. Arjuna is being addressed as scorcher of foes. Any aspirant who is listening is Arjuna. And what you are doing, instead of scorching your hands, you are scorching your anger, your hate, cooking them, and put sweet syrup of bhakti over them. They become waffles. Sacrifice of knowledge is better than sacrifice of material objects, because all actions without exception terminate in knowledge. Jnana is the ultimate goal. Ultimate goal is a revelation, Aham Brahmasmi. And that revelation becomes possible when you have developed intuitive knowledge, sanamati, right understanding, but not ordinary, what's called viveka buddhi, that type of subtle intellect that reveals to you that you are separate. Self is separate from the not self. You are separate from your body, mind, intellect, even from your own mind. And you are Satchidananda, you are Brahman. And you are the only one. Aham Brahmasmi. That's the Jnana Yagya gives you that ultimate goal. Now that Jnana Yagya has two aspects. Jnana Yagya, you are practicing it. But in order that you practice it, when you promote or help people to develop purity of intellect, when you help people to develop proper understanding, sanamati, if you encourage them on the path of sadhana and satsanga, whatever you do in that direction is called jnana yagya. So of all spiritual projects, the project that brings knowledge, that inspires people to figure out who they are and allows them to look at themselves as the source of boundless treasure. So much you don't have to look at others. You don't have to be jealous of others and figure out why others are progressing. Nothing. You have everything. So, the best of all yagyas is that jnana yagya. And that's the goal. All actions, without exception, terminate in jnana. This statement has two implications. All yagyas climax in jnana yagya. Another, if you have jnana, all your karmas, all your effort, all your expectations, all have concluded in perfect fulfillment. Absolute fulfillment. And with this I'm going to conclude. Just 2 verses. Call miserly death. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardanam Urvarukma Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Krishnaya.